Greetings. Not all stock breakouts have potential power. Let's discuss that. So we have two stocks here we're going to take a look at. The first one here, and I'm going to ask you the question, would you find this to be a reasonable buy right here? That breakout, this is a monthly chart. Is that a good breakout? Something that you would have an interest, or would that something you would ignore? Let's take a look at what the RSI and MACDs look like. And then your other option is this breakout here. In fact, I'm asking the question, would you buy it right there, given that there was another breakout that had already taken place? So between the two, which one is of interest? And again, we can see the RSI traditionally is extended in this case, and we can see that the MACDs are also showing this look. So the question is this more of a consideration? In other words, let me show you again. There's this look here. Would you buy the stock here from a breakout perspective? Or would you rather buy Intel here on the breakout? That's the question I'm going to try and answer. But first, I greet you in the love light of the one infinite creator. All right, let's begin here. So first and foremost, like I said, not all stock breakouts are the same. One of the main issues here that we have with this breakout for Intel is, yes, there's a price breakout. But if you're a student of my work, you can see that you have a price breakout, but the RSI does not qualify. The RSI is not making a move to 3-year highs here, and neither is the RSI trading above 69.1. So from that perspective, this is a no-go. Just the RSI itself. But also, additionally, take a look at this. We have this MACDs also not moving to 3-year highs. So definitely, this is not a stock we would be having an interest in, and it is one that we would ignore, even though it's giving us a price breakout. Now, something else also I need to point out here is there's also something that visually is an issue for me here and it's these big drops. So these big drops here are a concern. Just seems to have these monthly collapses, huge monthly collapse. In fact, even here, huge monthly collapses. I don't like that. Tells me institutions are not eager to support the stock. Now, something else I need to point out here. Also, let's consider that this is in 2020. This is 2020 here. So 2020 is this time period here. And you can see that the stock is, unlike the market at the time, the stock is not acting well. This is 2020, for the year 2020. Not very good momentum. Compare that with the S&P 500 in the same time frame. In the same time frame, S&P 500 had a different look. We had this initial drop in March, February of 2020, and then we ended the year with this uptick, which is completely different with what Intel was doing at the time. So that tells us also at the time that the momentum was not in this stock. It was underperforming the market. So that's also another red flag. Another reason why this breakout here is not one that would have been of interest based on not meeting the minimum requirements for the ultimate one, the breakout, and also underperforming the market. Now compare that with the other stock. Now, of course, we can see that this one can say is extended. You can say, man, I'm not touching this. It's extended. Especially if you're gonna use the previous monthly closing high, the stock is way extended, because usually we give it anywhere from a 5% maximum chasing range to about 8%. This is way above so our buy point would be somewhere around here at the maximum. Now, what do you do? And also consider, most people will call this very aggressively, and I hate to use that word, but I'm going to use it, overbought market. They don't want to buy anything with the RSI above 70. I don't know why. But also take a look here at your MACDs. So at the time that breakout was taking place, you have the minimum requirements for the ultimate MOA, the breakout. Our MACDs, at least one of them needs to be at 3-year highs. We got 3 of them. And then we also have the RSI above 69.1. So meets the minimum requirement. So the other question becomes, what would be the entry? And so this is what we can do. We just take a look at the weekly. Now this is the weekly. This is the monthly, the weekly, same time frame. And you can see the weekly had 2 weeks of rest, which is our minimum. So this is why at the time on, I believe was July 7th, I gave out a breakout alert for my paid clients right here. Why? Because I could see that this one has potential. And since we had the minimum requirements of at least 2 weeks of rest right there, that 2 weeks of rest was all I needed to know that the stock could have another run. That's why I sent out that breakout alert. Now, quick look at my website here, and I'm searching for that stock. It's right there. And we can see that was in July. So July of 2020 right there. That's when that breakout alert was sent out. And I even have a comment here saying my favorites from the above are A, PPS, which is the stock we are looking at. That was one of my favorite at the time. And so go back to the question from the beginning of the video. This look eventually led to the following. This is what you get. So the previous breakout alert was here, and this is exactly what happened. We would go on to have a failed breakout and drop 60%, around that much, from here all the way to the lows there. Compare that from this look that we just looked at, or the weekly. Eventually, this is what happened. That breakout in July of 2020 is here, and the stock would go on to record a massive return of 620+%. In how many months? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 months. Like I said in the last video, you're giving a stock, a quality stock, anywhere from 6 to 9 months can yield an amazing percentage return. If you have the patience, that is. So if you know what to look for, not all stock breakouts are the same. You need to know which ones have more potential, power to the upside. And if you don't know what stocks to own, when to buy them, you don't have the time for the research, I can help you with that. I am Eric with Mother.com. I leave you as I found you, in the love light of the one infinite creator. Go forth rejoicing in the power and in the peace of the one creator. Adonai.